What is happening, guys? What is going on? Good morning. It's a crisp 17 degrees here in Chicago, freezing cold this morning. The reason I'm making today's video is to talk a little bit about Amazon merch. The throttling going on is just insane. It's out of control. I've been noticing some really weird things with like inventory control and like which t-shirts are available in which colors, and BSR scores disappearing and shirts disappearing from search. And I was actually listening to the Merch Minds podcast this morning with Glen from Hustler Hacks and Young from Geek Hustle, and they were talking a little bit about this too. And it seems like everybody's feeling the squeeze, everybody's feeling the pain. Just a few weird things that I've noticed. So my girlfriend's family really likes this one line of shirts that I make. It's kind of, they actually appeal to everybody, but it's kind of like a inside joke or like a family tradition among them. So a lot of her family members have asked me to order them shirts and things like that. So the other night I was ordering a couple shirts, some for Christmas presents, some just for whatever. One thing, by the way, I think we're at the point where I tried ordering a shirt last night and it said it's going to be delivered on the 27th. So at this point moving forward, it looks like Amazon merch shirts are not going to be out in time for Christmas. And because of that, I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon starts throttling even more, because I know people, if they're shipping a third-party item, that can easily be there by Christmas. Like if Amazon actually needs to print on demand your shirt, at this point, that's not going to be there for Christmas. I guess the backlog of printing as well as the shipping times, means they're going to arrive after Christmas. So I think Amazon probably knows that people aren't going to be ordering shirts if they're not going to be arriving in time for Christmas. So I have a feeling that Amazon's going to start throttling these shirts even harder. But one of the things that I noticed is last night I went to go order a shirt for my girlfriend's family member, and I have two identical designs. And sometimes I'll do two designs, like one on an Anvil shirt and one on a Bell and Canvas shirt. And more recently, now that I have long sleeve shirts, one on a long sleeve shirt. Well, in some cases, I'll actually do two identical designs, both on Anvil shirts, but maybe do a different color selection. So shirt one is maybe available in green, black, and red, and maybe shirt two is available in, heather gray, heather blue, and, white or silver or something like that. Well, I went on one of my shirts designs, and it wasn't available in the heathers. So I'm like, oh man, that sucks. She wanted a heather blue. I hop on a listing for another Anvil shirt, so we're comparing apples to apples. It's Anvil to Anvil. Another Anvil shirt, actually with the same exact design, and that one was available in heather blue. So even among my own designs, identical design, same type of shirt, one listing they're letting me order heather blue, the other listing they're not letting me order heather blue. Another kind of exciting thing for me, for the first time ever, I got a shirt to rank #1. So you have like the sponsored shirts, the ones that people are paying for ads for at the top. I'm the first organic listing for a pretty general niche search term. So it's not like you're having to type in a long tail keyword to find my shirt. General search term, and I'm popping up #1, which is awesome. That's never happened to me. That shirt's selling about, 8 to 12, maybe on a crazy day, 8 to 15 shirts per day. And with some of my other good selling shirts, they've removed the BSR score. They're not showing up in searches. But I have this one shirt that's ranking #1. Sales were really starting to grow. Last night I looked, it was available in 5 different colors. I go back in to look at it again this morning. Like a lot of you guys, I'm like addicted to like constantly refreshing and looking at my numbers. So I go back and look at it this morning, and that shirt is only available in 1 color. So 6 hours ago, I could have ordered it in 5 colors. Now it's available in 1 color. So I'm sure that's going to hurt my sales. One kind of crazy thing is, I forget what my all-time best month is. I think it's like 136 shirts. After subtracting cancellations, I think it brings me down to about 126. At this point in the month, we're only, 14 days into the month, maybe halfway through the month. I already have 122 shirt sales. So halfway through the month, I'm already about to set a new personal best. And so it kind of sucks that it seems that I have a feeling things are going to get throttled even harder. And a lot of my shirts are already getting throttled. And it makes me wonder, like, if all my shirts were available, how well could I really be doing? So I was listening to Merch Minds podcast with Glen and Young this morning. They were talking about the same thing, talking about the news we got back on the 5th, how shirts are being throttled. Let's see, what else do they have to say about that? I think Young said he's doing about, I think $1,000, $1,300 a week in commissions. Glen was doing a little bit more than that. And one thing I did notice or pick up from them, on average, most of my shirts are selling for, I don't know, probably $2, or not selling for. Most of the commissions on my shirts are from like $2.40 to $3.80. I do have a few shirts where I'm making $5 and some change. I maybe have a rare shirt where I'm making like the full 7 off of it. But in general, like $3.80 is a pretty good sale for me. A lot of my shirts are priced less than that. Well, Glen and Young share their numbers on the Merch Minds podcast, and obviously I just took their sales numbers and divided by the total number of shirts that they had, and I forget what Glen's number came out at, but Young's number came out, or his average commission per shirt based on the sales numbers that he shared was $6.60 in commissions off of a shirt. So one thing that's made me realize is I'm pricing my shirts too low. He's getting almost double what I'm, in some cases even triple what I'm getting per shirt sale. So I think once Amazon merch opens back up and I'm able to start uploading some shirts again, I think I'm going to start raising the prices of some of my shirts. And that brings me to kind of another interesting point. So me and Chris from Thrift Shop Hustle the other day, we're kind of talking about this whole merch throttling issue, and we were talking about pricing shirts, and he had actually shared that he just started raising some prices of his shirts right before they put the ban down, and he was seeing some success with it, and then they stopped it, and we were kind of speculating, and I was thinking the same thing as him, like maybe they don't want to be selling cheap shirts, right? Maybe they want the $16 shirts and the $19 shirts to sell as opposed to the $12, $13, $14 shirts. And I was thinking, well, that makes sense, right? They're going to make more money, so of course they'd, the higher something's priced, typically the more money they make, because like on a third-party item, they're charging 15% fees. So if I sell something for $100, they're going to make more in fees off me than if I sell it for $50. So in that sense, you would think they'd like higher-priced items. However, if you think about it, in the case of merch, it really doesn't matter what you price your shirt at. I believe they're still making the same amount of money, right? Because they don't give us a percentage commission. They have us set a base price, and we make whatever we want over it. So the base price on an Anvil shirt is like, what, $12 and some change? So whether I price that shirt at $14 or whether I price that shirt at $19.99, Amazon is still only getting that base price of $12 and however many cents. So in the grand scheme of things, it really shouldn't matter to Amazon whether I'm selling a shirt for $14 or $19, because at least as far as I can wrap my head around, they're not making any more money because all they're making is the base price. So that was just kind of a weird thing. I don't doubt that price plays a role in the algorithm, and maybe Amazon does like higher price shirts, but in terms of them making more, I don't really see how they would make more off you pricing a merch shirt higher. Let's see, what else do we have to say? I'm trying to think if the guys had anything else good to say on the podcast. Young said his... sorry guys, I'm still hoarse from the other night with that 3-hour live stream on the crypto stuff. Young said he's killing it on Etsy. I recently got on Etsy myself after hearing Young recommend it. I've actually had an Etsy account for years. It's just not anything I've ever really been active with. And I had 5 sales my first week, I think 3 or 4 the second week. This week I've had 2. At this point, my print-on-demand t-shirt drop shipper isn't going to be able to get orders to customers in time for Christmas. So I'm actually thinking about, it's not like I'm getting flooded with orders, but I'm thinking about putting my store on vacation mode for now. Reason being, pretty much every shirt that comes from here on out through Christmas, I feel like I should contact the customer and say, hey, look, I'm not going to be able to get this shirt to you until like the 27th, 28th, 29th. If this is a gift, please let me know and we can cancel the order, or are you okay with that? Like I said, I'm not getting flooded with orders, so it's not like this ton of work that I would have to do to message people, but I get annoyed when I place an order and then somebody has to cancel it or changes the terms on me or whatever. So just to avoid that altogether, I think I may put my Etsy shop on vacation mode. Glen said he's doing Etsy as well. He said he has some sales trickling in, but it sounds like it's not killer for him, although Young had kind of asked him about his numbers and said, look, I think you need to get some more shirt listings up there. I only have 8 shirt listings up right now, and like I said, I'm not through the roof, but I'm getting a few sales here and there. And I think Glen said he had 18 shirts live, so a little over double me. And I think he said he's had 5 sales to date. So I don't know, maybe maybe his niches aren't the best for Etsy or something, because on Amazon this guy's killing it. I think he's doing, I don't know if he's doing over 10K a month. I know Young said he initially had a goal for 10K for this month. He said he was going to do about 5. So I thought I was having a pretty good month. These guys are crushing what I'm doing, but for me it's really good. Like I said, I think my prior personal best was about 126 shirts, and I'm at about 120, 122 right now, only halfway through the month. So really excited to kind of see how the rest of this month is going to shake out. Would love to see Amazon bring us back online and start uploading shirts again and changing prices and editing shirts. But I have a feeling not going to be till after the end of the year. But yeah, I've noticed some really weird things with inventory, guys. Like, my #1 ranking shirt, they've brought down to 1 color. So I mean, literally at this point they must not want these shirts to sell. I know they are having scaling issues. Young brought up a good point. He was like, maybe they should, not that any of us have any say in what Amazon does, but maybe they should stop bringing on new merch sellers until they can kind of get the supply chain for the current sellers in order. I think it would be better to, I mean, they have a lot of people on there, but I think it would be better to have a system working well for a smaller number of people than a system kind of working half-assed for a bunch of people. But at the end of the day, it's Amazon's game. I'm having a great month as it is, but I do wonder in the back of my mind, like, if all my shirts were showing up in searches, if they didn't take away BSR scores from some of my best shirts, and if they weren't limiting my colors, like, would I be doing even better? But couldn't be happier with how merch is going. If any of you guys aren't on merch yet, go sign up, get on there. Any of you guys who are selling on merch or even waiting to be selling on merch, if you're not doing anything else, maybe set up a Printful or a TeePublic or something else and start drop shipping shirts to Etsy sellers. I can see that could be pretty promising. So that's really all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. You have any comments, anything else weird you've noticed about Amazon merch, any merch tips you have to share, drop them in the comment section below. We're barreling towards that 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me as well, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.